Good morning. This is Pastor Jason of Kona Faith Center with a word for today. The word for today is assimilate. A great angel acknowledges by oath the superiority of the one true God whom the angel serves. The oath is the name of the one who is in possession of perpetual and endless life. The present active participle of living is employed, making as emphatic a statement as is possible about this continuing, uninterrupted life of the one true God. This continuing, uninterrupted life of the one true God is in stark contrast to the created order. Not only by virtue of the temporary nature of the created order versus the eternal nature of the Creator, but also by virtue of the fact that the created order is clearly the artistry of Him who lives forever and ever. Go and take the scroll and eat it. This means to assimilate the message of the scroll and make it part of who you are. Only as the message of the scroll becomes part of who you are will the incarnational effect accomplish what God intends. We must assimilate the message. We must make it part of who we are so that we can properly declare God's message. We do not announce our own message. We announce a message that comes from God. Aristotle called for ethos, pathos, and logos in public speaking. Ethos is reflected by the personal integrity, the credibility, and the consistency of the messenger. Logos represents the content itself, hence the importance of it being God's message. Pathos refers to the internalization of the message, the making the message part of who you are, the assimilation of the message, which imparts the persuasive power and the empathy necessary in effective communication. We can only be effective in our communication by thoroughly internalizing the message and applying it in practical ways in our own lives. In other words, we must assimilate God's message, and that's what gives us the power necessary to be effective in communication. The sweet would then be all those that choose life. The bitter would be those that reject Jesus, thus choosing death. We must speak God's message, the whole counsel of God. But before we speak, we must assimilate God's message and begin to live it out in a practical and transparent way. This living it out in a practical and transparent way releases the power necessary to become persuasive and make an impact and make our communication, our preaching effective. The word for today is assimilate. Assimilate His word. Preach God's message. God bless. Check in tomorrow.